guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have a little change of my setup just to try something new. Plus I like it better standing up than sitting down, and I have my ring light on, so I'll try this out for a little bit and see how it goes. So with that being said, I'm going to be covering Insecure Season 4 Episode 5. It is finally the block party. I didn't expect for us to see it so soon. I thought it would be something that would happen towards the end of the show, but nope, it happens I guess midway through. And the first scene you got is, it looks like it's in the middle of the night, and Issa texts Nathan, which I have my reservations about Nathan, because Nathan was very, very trifling. The way that he just kind of took off and left Issa, had no valid explanation as to why, it's kind of, and then wanted to be back in her life, and with the whole like, oh, I'm here now type of thing. And I was glad that kind of Issa kind of pushed him to the side. So when she started talking to him, I was kind of like disappointed. So they're talking about it. It's the day before the block party, and she's nervous, she's anxious, she's a ball of emotions. And he's consoling her, making her feel good about herself, and we finally get to the day of the block party. So there's obviously a lot of setup involved, and you could see that, I believe, I don't want to fast forward too much, because I believe when she's talking to Nathan on the phone, so they're both up, she decides to talk to him. He had asked her, I think, about Molly, and she was just like, oh, you know what? I don't even think I fuck with her anymore. And that was the line that we got in the first scene of the first episode. So we could tell. So now we know the context behind it, and now we don't know what's going to happen for the future and their relationship. So fast forward, it is now the day of the block party. The festivities are getting ready. Condola has been MIA, nowhere to be found, and now we know she was purposely out of sight, out of mind, because of Lawrence, of all people. Issa didn't say none of the stuff Lawrence did. Issa's not the one trying to take your man from you. So I don't know why she's being so cold and being a type of way with Issa. But she is, and Issa sees her at the block party, and it was kind of just like, I'm surprised to see you here because you haven't been answering my stuff. I have no idea like what's been going on. And then she tells Issa, hey, I just want to let you know that me and Lawrence broke up. Which, why should Issa care? Issa is not with Lawrence, and Issa wasn't trying to take your man at the time. And so they have this like awkward encounter, and Condola's like, oh, I just wanted to, I guess, be there for some of the sponsors to come, but it seems like after that she's gonna dip. And then Issa was kind of just like, okay, cool. I feel like at this point Issa's like, I'm indifferent, like whatever. Now you get to see Molly and Andrew, and Molly is being really negative towards coming to this block party. She's been dissing it. She's been kind of not been supportive of the block party. So she's taking some jabs on like, oh, why should I even come there? She was saying, oh, it might rain, I might get sick. She's giving like 101 excuses, and Andrew's just kind of like, well, what's the problem? Like, I don't understand. This is like your friend and stuff like that. And she was telling him that like she doesn't really feel that for Issa right now, and there's like a rift between them. So now you have the block party, and it's in the beginning, so it's very empty, and the thing is, like, Issa's like panicking, and I'm like, Issa, it just started. Condola has hooked her up with a bunch of interns, so they'll run around, do the dirty work, and we get to find out, even though Schoolboy Q canceled, Vince Staples is going to be taking his place, which, pretty good replacement. Very similar, not necessarily in type of music, but I feel like similar in the amount of people that would be drawn to see them. This is not like she's being like Beyonce, where it'd be like overkill. And she's worried about that too because Schoolboy Q canceled on her, so there could be a chance Vince Staples does. I forgot her assistant. Her assistant was making me laugh, and they're trying to set everything up. One of the things, or one of the main goals Issa had for this party is to bring back the black folks in that area who kind of have been chased out due to gentrification. I can't say that word. Make fun of me. There's some words I can't say, but it's like, it's when black people are pushed out of a community due to the community having a lot of white people in it. I did not describe it properly. As I'm saying it, I realize I didn't describe it properly, but my head's not all here today. Anyways, she wanted black people to be at her party. She wanted to get black people together. I felt like the crowd was, in general, very diverse. It looked very, very LA. So you can see her friends are there now. So when I say her friends, I mean Kelly and Tiffany. Tiffany's so happy because she's babyless and she can actually drink and have fun. She's no longer breastfeeding, so she can drink alcohol. Kelly has now had a British accent because this man that she's started to see, that was the first accent she put on, so now she can't go back. It's funny. So everyone's having a good time. The performers, the first performer, the woman who was kind of like that kind of indie neo soul performer, apparently she was singing or rapping or doing poetry about oppressive things, and they wanted her to come off. And then otherwise everybody else was really good in when it comes to the performances. I don't know if these people were actually real performers or not, but I did like the music I was listening to. So everybody's having a grandiose time, and Issa's kind of been running around, but she's managing everything really well. She's handling things very good, and she just hopes that like more black people come. Everyone is so excited to see Vince Staples, so that's kind of where the black crowd is coming from. And you can kind of see when Molly and Issa meet at the place, Molly seems really surprised that Issa could pull something like this off, that it could be successful. I was not here for it, because she kind of seemed like, oh, this actually looks nice. I thought it was going to be like bougie and broke down. Andrew, being the good boyfriend, is just like, yeah, this is great, you're having a good time, making sure she's in high spirits. So it gets closer to the evening time, and when it's closer for Vince Staples to come on, and she finds out that he's actually here. Molly and Issa try to, I don't want to say reconcile, but they try to get on some kind of like understanding, but at that black party was not the place and not the time to have like a serious conversation. So it was kind of weird between them, kind of trying to talk, but then having no time to. Plus, Molly came here with somebody, so you can't necessarily just want to try to make amends with your friend when this is not the place to do it. So, you meet Vince Staples, and they play the wobbly. I guess I'm Canadian. I'm not American. That's not the type of music I grew up with at my barbecues, okay? So I heard of the song before. I think I've seen the dance before, but It seems like a very common dance in the American culture, especially when it comes to like barbecue music. So they're all dancing, getting together, having grand old time. When I saw this, I was like, yes, this is what I dreamed for. This is what I love. But then you can see the tension a little bit between Molly and Issa, but then they just like, you know, hey, when you're dancing and just kind of letting loose and having fun, you kind of don't care about the issues you're dealing with or the problems you have. So then they're dancing and stuff, and then the MC calls Issa on to do kind of like a little speech to introduce Vince Staple. Issa's on and she's like, hi, so blah blah blah, and I'm so happy. And then it's just like, Vince, 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 and I was just like, ooh, this could be really bad. But then she was just like, okay, bring out Vince Staples. He comes out, he performs, party's bopping, everyone's having a good time. At that point, when your main event shows up, performs, and everyone's having a good time, like, it's successful. And I thought it was a very successful block party. So then somebody, Vince Staples' manager, kind of came to Andrew and said like, yo, Vince wants to talk to you and stuff. And then Andrew introduces Molly, and then Molly's kind of confused with the situation, like, what's going on? And Andrew tells Molly that, hey, like, Nathan reached out to me to reach out to Vince, so, you know, I just hooked that up. It's like, whatever. And so he's like, I'll just, like, you know, I'll be there in a second. Molly, which F Molly forever, gets in her feelings of old days. Like, you didn't have to do it, like, today. Gets in her feelings, goes to Issa when Issa's hanging out with her friends. Everyone's congratulating her. Everyone's saying you're having a good time. To say, oh, you went behind my back and talked to my man to do this when I told you I wasn't going to do this, and blah, blah, blah. This fight was needed because you got to let it all out, but not for the place and time. And in front of your friends too, which makes everything awkward. And they were calling out each other out of their names. You a shady bitch, and that's why you full of you're always like begging or asking people for favors, stuff like that. And I was just like in the back. It's like I was in the back, just like, damn. Eventually, it looked like Molly was ready to run up on Issa, and I was just like, Lawyer Molly, calm the F down, calm the F down right now. And especially as she was just like, ba 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 ba, and I was just like, oh my god, please don't let them fight. Next thing you know, you hear, he has a gun, or she has a gun, and then I don't know where that came from. I felt like someone just randomly yelled it, and then everybody kind of scattered. At that point, it's the end, so it doesn't really matter. I wouldn't say that it was unsuccessful because of that, and I feel like it is what it is. And then this one guy's like, black people can never have anything good. And you can kind of see the other friends, just kind of like Kelly and Tiffany being like, and they're trying to console Issa, being like, you know, it's okay, it's okay. Even her brother, because her brother knows how she feels. Her brother was giving Molly the cold shoulder, so you know her brother's there for Issa. Andrew was there. Andrew apologized for doing this, even though he didn't realize the magnitude of doing a favor for essentially a friend. Which I'm surprised, like, why Molly? Like, Molly, you said you didn't want to talk to him, so she found someone else that did. And this is not like it was sweat off Andrew's back and he had to like put his job on the line. Like, this is what he does. It was a very easy thing. Vince is gonna get paid. It's not like he was asking for a freebie or something like that. Like, calm down. So I think Molly blew it out of proportion, and she's going to be the hated girl for probably the rest of the season. So I'm Team Issa. I'm Team Issa all the way. And for guys, I'm technically Team Lawrence because Nathan is trash. Lawrence is trash too, but I love me some Issa and Lawrence. But anyways, that concludes my recap of Insecure season 4 episode 5. I'm so excited to see what happens with this relationship, if it can ever be mended. Sometimes you outgrow your friends and you guys have to part ways, and sometimes you guys can make it work, but you're not in the position to force yourself. You don't need to have certain friends around if they bring you negativity or put you down. So I'm excited to see the rest of the season. So with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
I'm just a dumb cunt, fucking sick and tired of it. Maybe I could front love, maybe I could buy a zip, maybe I get fucked up. Next time I could save some. Why it's gotta be like this? Why it's gotta be that way? Put it inside. Feel so rise up, banging on that loud.